So I don't know if this is the exact setting that I envisioned for this video, but it's gonna have to do. I want to tell you guys a story about a situation I was in with a girl. Sort of piece of relationship advice, I guess, coming from a guy who's had not a ton of relationship experience, but something worth sharing. It's basically about a year ago. I hit up this girl, right? And it was over Snap, some childish ass shit. Snapchat is kind of more of like a high school, college type of like way to hit someone up. At this point, I'm 23 years old, probably more like a come up to you in public, talk to you at a bar type of situation for like hitting up shorties. But anyway, I texted this girl, never met her, saw her once ever. I gotta get vulnerable here. I gotta be okay with getting vulnerable here and really share what's up. Never met her, saw her one time. Really had no business at all hitting her up. But I did anyway. Because I just, classic, just saw her on IG. I was like, yo, you're fucking beautiful. I didn't say that, but I was just like, man, this girl's beautiful. I want to talk to her. Sorry, I'm breathing heavy. So anyway, I start trying to talk with her, you know, have a couple conversations, like pretty quickly, it's obvious, like she's not really interested, which is fair. She wasn't ever like rude about it though. Like she always like responded and was like down to have a convo, but like I could just tell that, I could tell it wasn't gonna go anywhere, but I was still trying to like, not force it, but I tried to stay persistent. But as time goes on, you know, we talk for a couple months, it doesn't really go anywhere besides just like being friendly. And eventually I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, this is not gonna work. She starts trying to talk to me about like her like old man and shit. And I'm like, anytime you're in a situation where someone's trying to talk to you about like their old relationship, it's probably not a good sign. You should probably get out of there. So then I just stopped talking to her. A couple months later, try snapping her again, just because I was, I don't fucking know, bored. Still thinking about her. I didn't really have any business still thinking about her. She didn't really give me a reason to, other than I just thought she was fine. So then, this is probably, you know, I was probably talking to her last summer. Then it comes like, you know, maybe fall time. That's when I like re-snapped her. I was trying to talk to her. And then that really didn't go anywhere. It's probably like, it didn't go anywhere even more than the first time. And then I think I ended up leaving her on open the first time. She ended up leaving it on open the second time. And I don't think I really cared at the moment, but it was the type of thing where I thought she was so beautiful that ever since then, and that was probably a good 8 months ago now. Let's say it was 8 months ago since she last snapped me. Since then, since 8 months ago, and this is where I'm gonna start to sound crazy, and you guys gotta stick with me here, because this has the end of this story has a point. Since then, I probably thought about her a good 75% of the days since I last snapped her. Which makes no sense at all, because she never gave me a sign. We never were seriously talking. I never met her in person. We never did anything. But for some reason, I still was just like, I can't stop thinking about this girl. And I've done that before. I did that in my first relationship. And I'd say this is probably really only the second time since I've been an adult, we'll say, that I've done that, where like I meet a girl or just like find out about a girl and I'm just like, holy shit, she's so beautiful, I can't stop thinking about her. This is probably the second time I've ever done that. The first was my first relationship, which I did end up like, dating her and all that. So 8 months go by. I'm still thinking about her for no reason. And then eventually she gets it, like she got a boyfriend way before I even realized. They were just keeping it on the DL and I didn't realize. Not that I was like talking to her during then, but I just didn't realize. But then basically once it was like confirmed that she like got a man, I like got upset about it. Like I was like, yo, like, that's so unreasonable. And I'm trying to like self-reflect right now, but I was like that was so unreasonable of me to feel like upset about that. And I wasn't like upset about, obviously she has every right in the world to do that. We talked hella long ago, but I was upset about it. And then I had to like look at myself and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you upset about? Like you had really no business even trying to talk to her in the first place. And what I mean by that is you might be confused when I'm saying I had no business talking to her. It just didn't make any, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like we didn't know each other. We weren't like geographically near each other, I was like, dude, what the fuck are you so upset about? The fact that she is a man now. Like, you understand, she hasn't thought about you for a split second since then. What the fuck is that? She hasn't thought about you at all, man. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing thinking about her? Like I said, I've done that before. But the thing is, during that gap in between the last time I talked to her and now, from when I found out she had a man, I like didn't talk to any other girls. And I did not talk to any other girls because I felt like I couldn't, because that was like rude of me, obviously, because it fucking wasn't. Like, she didn't give a shit about me. We didn't fucking have anything going. But the reason I didn't talk to any of the girls during that time is because I still, in my head, I was like, yo, she's so the one. And you, like, dude, I can't even say I got any good grasp on her personality over fucking Snapchat. There's a good chance you're not going to. So I really like had no idea what this girl was even about, like personally. Like she was pretty nice from what I could gather. But like I said, she didn't give a fuck about me, so why was I still thinking about her? And like, yeah, I wasn't talking to any other girls because I was just like, yo, this girl is so fine. And it's like, you can't come to the conclusion that like someone is so for you just because of like the way they look. Like when it boils down to it, I was really only thinking this way, really just off of a look standpoint. I was just like, she's just the most beautiful. Like, I was like objectively, maybe she's not like, maybe not to everybody the most beautiful, but you guys know what I mean. Everyone's been there where you're like, this is the most gorgeous person I've ever seen. And that was kind of where I was at. And so I kind of like forfeited the ability to keep talking to other, like keep looking. And then it's not like I'm like looking for like a serious relationship right now. I'm not like opposed to it, but like I kind of forfeited my right to even go out and like talk to other girls. And like, I don't go out to the bar a ton, but even when I would, like, I wouldn't really try to like talk to other girls or all that, because you look at these other, let's just say other people, because I'm trying to like have this be relatable from the perspective of both genders. It's like, you go look at other people and you're like, they just don't hit the nail on the head, we'll say. We'll use that. Is that an analogy? I don't know. We'll just say like, they just don't do it for you like this other person did. Which makes no sense, because it's like, dude, you could go talk to some random person you meet and they could be like incredible, you know? Maybe looks wise, when you first approach them, they don't make you feel that way. But then that's really not what it's about. It's about getting to know someone and having that be the thing that makes you like, I don't like to use the word obsessed. Infatuated, I think, is a more appropriate word. It sounds like a more like loving, like genuine type of word than like obsessed sounds weird and creepy. Infatuated is more of like, it just sounds better. But, so my point is, you can't be like, yo, someone is so the one. And maybe you're in a situation where you even like talked to somebody and actually hung out with them way more, and then they end up like ghosting you or something, or something like that. But you can't like hyper fixate on one person, because you're basically I created this whole like narrative in my head that this was like gonna work out. And I was literally like, oh, maybe at this time, or I was basically like thinking of the next time I would be able to like hang with this person. Even like we weren't even talking, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to hang with them then, or maybe I'll just like run into them at this point. Which is so delusional. Like looking back, it was so delusional, and I'm like fine with admitting that. Like it was so delusional to just be like, yep, maybe. Oh, I was like, and like I wasn't talking to other girls. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to see this person then. But like you just can't do that. Like it doesn't make any sense. You're basically creating this whole narrative in your head. Like it wasn't real. Like it literally wasn't real. And I'm not upset about it now, because I'm like, dude, that was so silly. Like, I'm assuming most people would be able to relate to what I'm saying right now from the perspective of, you think someone is the shit and you got them on your mind like 24/7. That's probably more of a guy thing than a girl thing. Because girls don't have to do that as much, I want to say, just because just the scene right now, it's way easier for girls to meet a larger pool of people more quickly than guys, maybe, I want to say. And then fast forward to 2 nights ago, right? And this is me. I'm about to tell you guys how I completely disregarded. Like I basically am disregarding all of my advice. 2 nights ago, she unfollowed me. That's how crazy I was. I was like, yo, let me see if she still follows me. And then 2 nights ago I checked, and she like unfollowed me or whatever, which is totally fair, like whatever. Like why would you still follow just like a random dude you were talking to 8 months ago when you have like a boyfriend now? But then when I realized she unfollowed me, like I got upset again for a second. Not for very long, but probably for like a couple hours. I was like, man, fuck that. Like what the hell? And it's like, dude, why would she give a shit about you? Why would she even give a shit about seeing what like your life updates are when there was never even anything there? It was so more serious to me than it was to like this person. And it's just so silly that like that even just that made me like a little bit upset, because that's so unreasonable. So I guess my piece of advice would be don't become so obsessed with somebody. Pretty much if you have someone on your mind, make a move very quickly, and then if it works out, cool, and if it doesn't, that's what it is. You basically have to like take action. You can't not take action. When you don't take action, you basically just have a crush on someone, and it's a complete waste of your time. And I don't really think any other, like, it's not like I couldn't like do my job, like my full, it's not like I was at my full-time job being like, oh, I can't do this because I'm like so like thinking about this person, or like I didn't still like enjoy doing my hobbies or whatever. It was really just more like I wasn't really open to like talking to other people. So you really can't do that. You got to make a move quickly, and then you have to be okay with the fact that it didn't make sense, or they weren't interested, or it just didn't work out. So it's sort of me just trying to get this off my chest because I hadn't really talked to anyone about this. But to anyone who knows me, you know that when I'm like interested in someone, sorry, my ass is starting to go numb. Anyone that knows me knows when I'm interested in someone, I'm pretty vocal about it. And ever since like I got out of my last relationship, I kind of like made it a point to be like, yo, I'm not going to do that anymore, just because nobody needs to know, you know? Even like, yeah, just nobody really needs to know like what your relationship status is. And I kept it like totally like, I literally didn't talk to like anybody about it because I was like, I just want to keep this 100% like to myself, just so I can not be influenced by other people. Like I usually like appreciate hearing other people's opinions, but this time I was like, I don't want to hear anyone else's opinion on this because I just want to see how it goes. But it's kind of hard. It's like, it was really hard not to tell anyone about it because I was so like interested in this person. But yeah, I'll pretty much, and that's where I was going. Basically, she has a boyfriend right now, right? If they never break, let's just say they never break up, obviously I'll never be with this person. But even if she does break up with this person, I still have absolutely no shot. And if you're in the same situation as me, you also probably don't have any shot. Because the second that they get out of a relationship, right? And I'm speaking from a guy's perspective right now. Like the second this girl gets out of a relationship, there's probably tens of other guys like me that are still just like know of her and like want to talk to her. And the second she's done with this current guy, someone else is going to realize that they're done and immediately hit her up, which is a bad idea for the guy who's trying to do that, because I feel like I've seen too many times where girls are in relationships and then they get out of relationships and then it's like hopped into like the next thing way too quick. You need to give yourself time to like think about what happened and like reflect and think about what you want. So I'll basically never be with this person because someone else is going to hop on that immediately. And I want to say, this is totally an assumption I'm making. Like I said, I don't know this person. This is a pretty vague assumption, but I'm assuming the next guy that hits her up, she's probably going to be just like, depending on, you know, how smooth he is, I guess. I don't fucking know. She'll probably be like down with it or whatever. And then she'll go into the next thing. And then it's basically like an endless cycle of, you like can't find the sweet spot of like hitting someone up who just got out of a relationship because someone else is going to make the move before you. And if you want to be the first person to make the move, you're probably going to end up regretting it because you're going to be talking to someone who's still totally caught up with whatever their last thing was. So it's just not a good idea. Yeah, it's just not a good idea. Was this recording? Yes, this was on. It's just not a good idea to hit someone up right when they get out of a relationship, and I'm not going to. So, in the unlikely scenario that this person is like one day out of a relationship for a while and just randomly hits me up, that's pretty much the only way I would ever talk to this person again. And once again, that is such a fucking random possibility. It's like not even worth considering. Like considering that is just a waste of your time. You are better off just trying to talk to other people. So that was pretty much all I had. Just wanted to let you guys into my mind on how like I I operate when like I meet someone new that I'm interested in, and how bad it is. Like that mindset is completely terrible, and you should totally do the opposite of what I did. Because your time, it's just your time's not worth thinking about someone that's just like, it's not really, doesn't make sense. But anyway, this is a really nice setting to do this in. Like I said, I kind of wanted to have a little bit more greenery, but hopefully this background was a nice setting. I was trying to like get out of the way of people a little bit. So anyway, until the next, I don't know what to call these. Is it a rant? Is it life advice? I don't really know. But anyway, until the next one, I wish you guys the best of luck with pretty much whatever you're dealing with, whether it's work or relationships or friends or whatever. But I'm gonna go get myself a rum punch from Barnacle Billy's. And yeah, appreciate you guys listening. I'll catch you next time.